This is it. Oh my god. Running 3. This is it. Tornado. Let's go. Let's fucking go. I'm actually him. I'm him. GG.
That's right, boys. We made God of Destruction with Raven, who can I just say is my favorite character. Like right now, this guy is my main, dude. He's my main. I'm sorry Lars, I'm sorry Steve, I'm sorry Leroy, but this man is now topping the charts for me. I love his animations, I love his rework with the clones, dude. Like Raven is just so sick in this game, and this is what I want to talk about, my experience with Raven during this grind, what I think about the character, how he is after the patch or after the update, and just how things stand in terms of the meta, and if Raven will actually blow up as much as Master Raven did back in Tekken 7. Okay, so first let me start by explaining how Raven can be misunderstood as a character and actually makes it difficult for you to, like, you know, pick up the character and get used to him, and what makes him really difficult to play in this game. Now on paper, and I always say this, I always stress this, on paper Raven's tools or Raven's frames look bad as hell. Like they actually look bad, it's ridiculous, but Raven is actually a mix-up monster and it's insane. I've told you guys how I've struggled with this character like so much, especially against friends. Picking him up, dude, it's been so hard. It's been so hard, and I always had the assumption of using Raven mostly like any other character in the game, right? Taking advantage of frame data, you know, just poking, lows, stuff like that. But Raven is a character that comes with risk. We'll talk about how the risk has been reduced later in the video, but you have to just admit the fact that he is a risky character and you have to accept that risk. But the reward is worth it in my opinion, because this man is a mix-up god. He actually cooks in this game, it's ridiculous. So Raven might seem bad in terms of frame data, but to a point I understand why he might not get as much buffed as I think he will, because dude, his mix-ups are actually scary, and it always depends on the person using the character. Like I've always said this, Raven is not a character anyone can pick up and spam. Raven is not a character that you can tear hole with. Raven is not him. I'm sorry guys, he's not a thing, he's not a dragon. You can't just pick Raven up and cook. And this is what makes it difficult to tell if he's a very strong character or a weak character, just like Tekken 7. Here we are. And Loki, I actually think Raven was actually good in Tekken Tag as well, but he was massively stepped on, right? Massively. So guys, what I'm trying to say here is, take these patch notes with a grain of salt. They might look very little, but they're actually major, because Raven might actually not be as bad as I've made him seem to be, or as bad as people make it seem to be, right? Character specialist. It takes a character specialist to bring the best out of Raven, is what I have discovered through my journey to the God of Destruction. Okay, firstly I want to talk about Aqua Spider again, and how this massive change has affected Raven massively. So Aqua Spider was his full crouch down forward 3. It now can be accessed from standing by inputting down to down forward 3, which is huge for Raven. So like I explained in my last video, Raven has never really had a go-to law. All of his laws are either reactable or launch punishable, or just have bad frames in general, right? This was his best law even before this update, but the problem is you had to access it through full crouch, and it took time because you had to crouch dash and then counter with down back and then do down back 3, which was just horrible. It was so janky to play Raven, but now it's just smooth, man. Just do it instantly right there, +2, just like that, just like almost every other character. Think of it like throwing out a down back 3 with Asuka. It's just that good. Raven can actually bully people in this game with that move, and like I said, on block it's -14 period, but you can parry anything they throw out from up to 15 frames, right? So let's say you block, they block your full crouch down for 3, they punish it without standing 4. If you parry, you can counter that, so it opens up like mix-ups again. They can try to punish you with a grab, but if you cancel, you can break the grab. Like it's crazy, guys. It's really good. And I didn't play Raven until after the update in terms of like ranked. If you guys remember, I first pushed with Lars. I made Tekken good with Lars. I pushed some Steve. Raven actually was the first character I pushed in terms of ranked. I did leave him at like Bushin rank. But then after the update and I saw the change to Aqua Spider, I was like, bro, I think this is it, man. This is what really changes Raven to some degree. And man, oh man, guys, this change is massive. It is massive. I pushed through ranks from Tekken King to GOD like smoothly, no demotion chance, nothing like that. It was just good. It was just good games, and I was finding like super top tier players, pro players from my country. It was insane. So yeah, Aqua Spider, or his new change to the law, really makes a huge difference. Back 10 forward 4, like we spoke about earlier as well, makes it that you can have a good poke in back turn in terms of a low poke. This changes a lot as well. You know, it's also +4 now. So man, like the changes do affect Raven in a sense, but man, you really have to try this character. It doesn't look good on paper, it doesn't look huge up until you try this character, and man, does it make a difference, let me tell you. Okay, so now, is Raven him in ranked? Is Raven a character you just pick up and push your way through God of Destruction just easily like that? You know, some tips on what I went through to get to GOD, what I had to do, and things that might help you if you're on a journey to grind for the top ranks in this game. So firstly, what I want to talk about Raven is most of the people don't know the matchup. That's one thing I've experienced. It's either they just know a bit about Raven, the basic stuff like punishing clones, being -14, and you know, dick jabbing his back turn, and crouch, and blocking his full crouch, down forward 3+4 sweep. Those are like the general basics of how people deal with Raven, but overall they just don't know how to handle him, at least for the most players. At high level, you will find top level players that know what to do, right? So you have to test your opponent to see just how much they know about this character. Just try to knowledge check them, right? That's really good about Raven. Stuff like blocking a low. Let's say you block Kazuya down back 4, but instead of going for standing 4 punish, you do Tornado Disaster instead. His full crouch down for 3+4 sweep, right? So stuff like that is the knowledge you should be checking against your opponents. But now, I'm not saying that Raven is a character that suffers against people that know the matchup. At the end of the day, Raven is a mix-up character. It's either the mix-up will work or it won't work, right? So for example, in hit, let's say back turn 2-2 1+2. Like, I love this move, 10 frame counter hit confirmable string, right? So you can do like 2-2 into soul zone, so 2-2 into 3+4. So to go for your soul zone mix-up, you can go for the mid or the low, or you can just finish the string with back turn 2-2 3+4 in hit. So this is a mix-up, right? It's either they'll try to interrupt the 2-2, and if you just do the full string, they get hit. If they respect the string, you can cancel to soul zone and go low. Stuff like this. It's kind of a coin toss, so it's either it works or it doesn't. Now this is the important part. You have to read your opponent's tendencies. Try to figure out where they mash, right? And just try to go from there. This applies to a ton of Raven's mix-up game, right? It's full crouch game. Figure out if they're ducking, if they're twitch ducking, down back 2, figure out what they do after you go back turn, you know, figure out what they do when you're using parry after you hit engager, or after like your plus or your negative. Like, his parry is very, very strong, so it just depends on how you read your opponent. This matters a lot with Raven, and like the parry game makes him very, very strong as well, because Raven is the only character in the game that can actually use a parry after he gets hit by a hit engager. It's like 1 frame activation. It's so strong, so it makes people hesitant after a hit engage to like press buttons, because it does have this parry. So like, just little things like this is what makes Raven a very, very scary character to deal with in this game. And I also want to talk about matchups. I didn't find myself struggling against most of the opponents in these games in terms of matchups. I did struggle against Nina though. I think Raven does suffer in terms of pressure. He's very susceptible to pressure because he does not have that many counter hit tools. He does have outstanding 2, which is an insane move. It's so good. The crushing is ridiculous. But overall, all he has is parries and a very good power crush. But in general, he doesn't really have counter hit tools to deal with pressure. But Nina, dude, I found this Tekken God Supreme Nina that just cooked my ass, bro. Like that bitch is strong. Nina is insane. But overall, you really shouldn't struggle with matchups that much in this game. Dragonov also. Dragonov is annoying. Dragonov is a very, very annoying matchup for Raven, because man, that character is just cancer, bro. I liked the Thing matchup. It's actually not that bad. Who else is a very super top tier in this game? King, I didn't struggle that much against King, but of course King is stupid, but the parry comes in clutch, especially for those, you know, running Jaguar step mix-ups from, you know, his power crush Jaguar dash. The parry comes in clutch against that. Let's see who else is super top tier. Yoshimitsu matchup was good. Kazuya was alright. Poor dude. And one other thing I want to mention is the sidestep. Raven actually has a very good sidestep, and his down forward 2 really puts in work. It's not as bad as I thought, being 16 frames, but a down forward 2 makes it really good. And the fact that you can also use the extension down forward 203 or 24 has kind of like a stupid brain dead mixer, but it's actually really good. So yeah, matchup knowledge, Raven doesn't really struggle that much because of his archetype, his own mix-up archetype, right? Against Xiaoyu, you have that down back 2 for AOP. Like matchup wise, yeah, he is actually really good overall, but like I said, dealing with pressure can be a little bit difficult. Now, if you guys have any other questions, please let me know in the comment section. What do you want to know about Raven, right? What do you want to know about my journey to God, if it matters that much, you know, for you? I haven't really cared that much about ranked, honestly. I just decided to push because I thought to myself, okay, I'm cooking, bro. Like, I'm doing well. I'm not struggling. I'm not being demoted. I'm not sweating that much. So let me just push to see how far I can go. And, you know, here we are. Boom. I hit the highest rank in the game. In terms of where I think Raven is in the meta, dude, like, it's so difficult to tell with this character. Guys, I won't even lie. I won't gaslight and say Raven is bad. I won't overrate the character. I won't overhype him. I won't say he's mid. It's so difficult to tell because not many people play this character. Only like Pina and Go Attacker usually are currently playing Raven, so it is so difficult to tell. We need time. The game needs to age just like Tekken 7 for us to tell how good he is. But for my opinion, he is a good character. He is a good character, and I'll leave it at that. So anyway, guys, that's my discussion with Raven after reaching God. That's my experience with him and what I think about the character so far. I will try to make a different video giving more tips about Raven. I think I need to make another 15 essential tips for Raven because, man, there's so many. You have to know what to do with this character, like so many different things. It's insane. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching my video. Please like, subscribe, do the YouTube jazz, and check out my other Raven content. So GG, my boys.